Sometimes the loudest signs of attraction come in the quietest gestures. Here's a scenario. You're talking with a woman you've known for a while. Out of nowhere, she brings up something you casually mentioned weeks or even months ago. A tiny detail most people would forget. Your favorite coffee order, that childhood dog you had, or a silly goal you once joked about. You freeze for a second thinking, how on earth does she remember that? I'll tell you how. She remembers because she cares, a lot more than she's letting on. Most men are busy chasing obvious signals, the big flirts, the bold statements. But high-value insight is knowing this. When a woman hides big feelings, they slip out through small things. And if you spot this one subtle action, you've basically caught her heart red-handed, no matter how hard she's trying to play it cool. Today, I'm handing you the psychological magnifying glass to detect a woman's deepest feelings via one tiny clue. The tiny detail recall, her secret memory signal. The small thing is this: she remembers the little details, the kind that virtually no one else remembers. It might be something you said in passing, how you take your coffee, 1 sugar, oat milk, extra hot, the name of your first pet, or that you prefer hiking in autumn over summer. She not only remembers, she acts on it. Maybe she surprises you with your go-to coffee one morning, shrugging it off like it was no big deal. Inside, her heart is pounding, hoping you realize what that gesture means. Or she asks, hey, how's your knee feeling? Recalling you tweaked it playing ball last month. To the untrained eye, it's just friendliness. But to you, now armed with this knowledge, it's an indicator of something much deeper. Why is this tiny memory such a huge deal? Because our brains are wired to prioritize what's important to us. Think about it. When you really like someone or something, you naturally memorize details without effort. Psychologists say that when we have a crush or strong feelings for someone, our attention locks onto anything connected to them. It's not a conscious strategy on her part, it's subconscious. She couldn't forget that detail if she wanted to, because her brain has tagged information about you as top priority. She might not even realize she's doing it. Now, she won't come out and announce, I remembered this because I have big feelings for you. No, if she's hiding her feelings, she'll likely deliver that little gesture casually. Oh, you mentioned you love hazelnut chocolate, so I thought you'd like this candy bar I saw. Casual, but there's a hint of nervousness in her smile, a hopeful flicker in her eyes scanning your reaction. She's hiding an ocean of feeling behind that simple act of kindness. Let's put this into perspective. Most people in our busy world barely remember what they had for breakfast, let alone your random preferences or stories, unless you matter to them. So when a woman demonstrates this level of attentiveness, it's the equivalent of her unconscious mind waving a huge red flag that says, you're important. She may be hiding those romantic feelings in her words, but her actions give her away. Perhaps she's not ready to confess outright. Maybe she's afraid of rejection, or she's waiting for you to show a sign of interest. So instead of telling you how she feels, she shows it in miniature. These tiny recalls and thoughtful acts are her safe way of expressing care. It flies under the radar of most guys, but not under yours, not anymore. Consider another example. You casually told her you have a big presentation on Friday. When Friday morning comes, you get a text. Good luck today, you'll crush it. You didn't remind her. You didn't even expect anyone to remember. But she did. This isn't just friendliness. Plenty of acquaintances might wish you luck if they happen to remember, but someone who's into you will make a point to remember. She likely marked it on her mental calendar because it mattered to you, and therefore it matters to her. It's not just about memory either. It's about effort. She goes out of her way in small, almost unnoticeable fashions, picking up your favorite snack, sending you that funny meme that relates to a conversation you had last week, saving you a seat without being asked because she knows you're always a few minutes late to the meeting. These little things scream big feelings. Now you might wonder, could she just be a really nice person or a detail-oriented friend? Possibly. Context is key. Pay attention to whether she gives this royal treatment to everyone or if you're a bit special. Chances are, if you think about it, you'll realize she doesn't go buying coffee for the whole office just for you. She doesn't remember everyone's birthdays, just yours, and maybe your dog's birthday too. When a woman singles you out with consistent, thoughtful little gestures, it's a sign you've taken up more real estate in her heart than she's admitting. Let's get a bit into the psychology here. There's a term in psychology, selective attention. It means we naturally filter in the stuff, or people, that are important and filter out the rest. If she's selectively attuned to you, replaying your conversations in her head, noting your likes and dislikes, it's because emotionally, you're important. She might consciously try to play it off, but subconsciously, she's doing everything short of shouting, "I like you," by how attentive she is. Also, consider how she reacts when she delivers these small gestures. Often, a woman hiding feelings will act nonchalant, but her body might betray a hint of anticipation. Watch for that subtle glance to see if you're pleased, or a soft smile that creeps in when you express surprise that she remembered. In that moment, her eyes often give away warmth and relief. Yes, I made him happy. She might quickly change the subject or brush it off like it was nothing, but those brief seconds are golden. It's like a micro-celebration that she connected with you, even in a small way. What should you do when you notice this sign? Firstly, acknowledge it sincerely. Don't just say, "Oh, cool, thanks." Instead, let your appreciation show. Something like, "Wow, you remembered I love this. That's really thoughtful of you," while holding eye contact. This does two things. It rewards her effort, which will warm her heart, and it subtly signals that you recognize and value her attention. In other words, you're letting her know that you see through the subtlety. In a kind way, not calling her out, but appreciating her. That can encourage her to open up more over time. Secondly, if you're interested in her too, reciprocate with your own small gestures. Start recalling little details she's shared and bring them up. This creates a safe space for her feelings because she'll feel, "Oh, he cares about my little details too." It's like speaking a secret language of affection, where both of you are saying a lot without having to say it outright. It's worth noting, one small thoughtful act on its own might not confirm she's head over heels. But if you keep noticing a pattern, she consistently remembers and does things like this. You can be pretty sure those feelings run deep. Some women are naturally nurturing to everyone, true. But even then, pay attention to frequency and uniqueness. If you're getting the VIP treatment in her world of kindness, you stand out in her heart. The beauty of this small thing is how innocent it appears. It flies under the radar of those not paying attention. But now you know better. You won't be that guy who's oblivious when a woman is quietly pouring her affection into remembering your offhand comments or anticipating your needs. You'll recognize that when she does this small thing, she's hiding big feelings. Feelings she might be dying to express if only she knew you felt the same or wouldn't reject her. So keep your eyes open for these little treasures of insight. Attraction isn't always shouted from the rooftops. Sometimes it's tucked in a cup of coffee she brought you, or a random text about something you mentioned once. When you spot it, you've uncovered her secret. You mean more to her than she's saying, and that knowledge, my friend, is powerful. It lets you step forward and bridge the gap, or at least appreciate the depth of her heart behind that gentle smile. Tiny gesture, huge message. Now you can decode it.